Hello my fellow Brickheads, and welcome to another LEGO set review. I am the Galaxy of Bricks, and today we are going to be discussing Marvel Mechs because, as many of you will know, I have started to get into my Marvel Mechs quite a bit. And for today's review, we are going to be discussing two Marvel Mechs in particular that I have picked up, built, and thought, okay, let's do a review on them. They are two Marvel Mechs from two different years. So one is from January 2021, and then the other is from April of 2022. We'll kick things off with the first mech, which is this one, set number 76169, the Thor mech, released in January 2021. Now, this is the mech itself, and as you can already see, it is very much Thor, because they have based this mech around Thor itself, and there are some really interesting bits with this Marvel mech that I quite like, and then there are some things about it I don't like. So what we'll do is we'll kick things off, as always, with the minifigure that you get within this set, and then we will discuss the mech itself. And this is the minifigure that you get with it. So this is the Thor that you get. Again, there are some great things about the figure. I mean, it's very much an early definition of Thor because it's got the really nice molded helmet, which I quite like, and it comes with obviously his face and his armor detailing, and then you've got his more thunder face eyes kind of superpowers thing. But as I have stated in my previous mech videos, specifically the Iron Man one, and also one of the other ones on my channel, one thing I don't like about the mechs is you don't get separate hair pieces for them. And this is another thing with Thor. I mean, I get that it's a mech and you could probably get a Thor a dime a dozen in another set, but if, like me, you don't intend on collecting a lot of Marvel and you want a decent Thor minifigure for your collection, it's just a shame that you don't get a hairpiece, because we see Thor more so in the Marvel movies without a helmet than we actually do with a helmet on. I think we only see him with a helmet once or twice within the first of the Thor films, and then a couple of times in some of the later ones, especially the Avengers as well. But that's not too bad. And I mean, the armor detailing as well is nice, but it's a little bit bland. It's not the worst armor detailing for a minifigure, especially Marvel ones, but again, it's just pretty generic. It's a printed chest piece, silver arms, black hands, and then a little bit of basic armor detailing at the back. You do get a hammer with it, so you do get Mjolnir with it, which is nice. I mean, it's a staple of the character, but I just wish that for this in particular, we'd have been given a hairpiece and a cape, just because it's very much in keeping with the character that the mech represents. Thor the Norse god of thunder always has a cape. He has long flowing hair. The later versions of him have cropped hair in Ragnarok and the Avengers, etc. And just maybe a little bit of arm printing would have been nice. Maybe a change up of the body. But aside from that, this mech retailed for about $8.99 in the UK. It's a cheap and cheerful way of getting hold of Thor as a minifigure. But again, there's just so much more that you could do with it. That being said, however, this is the mech itself. Now, as you can see, it's a very extended and expanded version of Thor. You've got this hammer here, which is attached to the mech's hand. Quite nice, very different. I like the fact that it's got the blue translucent pieces on either side, and it's a large upscale version of Mjolnir. And again, with the fingers and the hands, you get these connection pieces, and you can pose them however you want, which is really good. I like that. this back piece here, in a way, you can pose these out, and this sort of mimics a cape for the mech, so you can have it sort of swoop in, land, and you can fold these down as if it's a cape. But having said that, it's nothing overly fancy. It's just a Thor mech with black, red, a few sort of goldy, sort of tanny pieces, as you can see on the legs and the chest. You've got the Thor chest piece here, which is quite nice. And again, with these mechs, they're very good for posing. They're very good for display. I mean, this one I don't think much of as a display piece. I kind of prefer some of the other mechs that I have. But again, it's a cheap and cheerful way of getting Thor, which for me is a good thing because I don't plan on getting a lot of Marvel sets apart from the mechs. When this retailed in January 1st, 2021, it retailed with a piece count of 139 pieces. And again, the 139 pieces that you get with it are all within the mech itself. So it's an easy build, only take you a few minutes. You can do this on the go. If you're traveling somewhere, if you are in a rush or you want something to occupy a child for a car journey or a flight, it's a good way of doing that. And again, there's only a few spare pieces you can get left over with this mech. So it's not like it's difficult. You can fit it into a backpack. You can fit it into a laptop bag or something like that. So it's easy to carry and it's easy to have with you. And again, with the Thor in it itself, this is what it looks like. I much prefer it with the Thor in the mech suit because, I don't know, there's just something about having the Thor in it that makes it so much cooler than if it was a generic Thor on its own. But again, with all these mechs, they're not based on specific moments within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They are what's the word? They're kind of like a what if or an exclusive kind of thing. They're not based on specific moments, but they're a creative license to make them. And what I like about the mechs is just they're something a bit different, and that's what drew me to them. The Thor one especially, I like the dark colour scheme, and I thought since I've started collecting them, the Thor one is a good one to go for because it joins with my Captain America, my Black Panther, my Iron Man, my Thanos especially. So that works very well. So again, this is the Thor one. Would highly recommend you pick it up if you like Thor and you want to collect the Avengers. It's a good way of getting hold of them. It's nothing fancy. These pieces here are sticker pieces as well. So these here are stickers, and the chest piece is a printed piece. And then obviously you've got these sticker pieces on the sides here as well. So that's the Thor mech. Again, retails for about £8 to £9 in the UK. You can pick it up on Amazon, you can pick it up on eBay, you can get it on Bricklink. The one thing I will say with not just this mech, but all the mechs in particular is, be very careful how you pose them, because I've just tried to set this one down on the kitchen table and it's just fallen in under itself. So you've got to be very careful and very, you've got to be very careful and very precise in how you pose them and how you set them up, because otherwise they do topple over. So that's the Thor out of the way, and we'll do an overall collaboration at the end. Our next one that we're going to be looking at is this one, set number 76203. Now this is Iron Man. Again, we've already had an Iron Man 1. I have that. We reviewed it in one of my previous videos months ago. But this one is actually based on the Mark XL2 suit from Iron Man 3. This is a variation of that. Again, it's not based on a specific point within Iron Man 3 or any of the Iron Man movies or Avengers. It's a creative license, but the inspiration for it is from the Iron Man 3 Thor suit, and that is this. Now, first thing you'll notice with this one, in comparison to the Thor one especially, is the colour scheme. It's got that striking sort of red, maroon, dark scarlet printing and colour scheme with the gold accents and obviously the gold chest piece. And I think in terms of colour, the mech is really good. The mech itself has a really nice colour scheme. There are several stickers on this set. So, for example, this is a sticker here. You've got 2 stickers on the feet, and the chest piece is a printed piece. This is 130 pieces, so this is 9 pieces less than the Thor one, and this was released in April of 2022. Again, retailing in the UK for about £9, which isn't too bad. This is the Iron Man figure that you get with the mech, and as you can see, like I said, this is based on his Iron Man 3 variant, so you've got more gold than red, or more gold than scarlet, and then obviously you've got the arc fusion lifts in the hands, which makes it sort of feel like Iron Man's going like that, and then you've got the detailing on the back as well. Now, you get 2 faces with Iron Man, like you did in the previous one. You've got the one with his Jarvis heads up display, and a more angry sort of face, and then you've got one without Jarvis, which is a more standard kind of raised eyebrow, smirk, angry kind of face. Again, same gripe I've got with the Thor one. It's good to have these mechs. They're cheap ways of getting hold of Iron Man figures, and we like that. That's good. But there's no hairpiece for it, which is a shame. And I mean, obviously, if you pick up, you know, the Iron Man Hall of Armour sets, if you pick up the Ironmonger sets, if you pick up the Avengers Tower, you can get hold of better versions of Iron Man with Tony Stark's hair and things like that, which isn't bad. I just prefer the Iron Man figures to have the hair. That being said, I never liked the Mark III or Iron Man 3 suit version. This suit I liked in the previous Iron Man mech from 2020 with the shoulder-mounted disc launcher. I love that version of Iron Man, and there's probably a little bit of bias on my part because I had that as the first Iron Man that I've ever owned. But there's just, I mean, as much as this is nice and the colours are different and it's good what they've done, I feel myself personally, Iron Man should have more red than gold. But I'm also being a bit nitpicky. And I mean, the detailing they've gone for on the figure is great, and I think it's good that they've gone to town on the detail, but I don't know, I kind of prefer the other version of Iron Man as opposed to this version, even though it's a more updated mech. I don't know, I guess I'm a sucker for nostalgia really, and a sucker for the old version. Not to decry from the fact that this is a really good mech, and I mean, it's 130 pieces, so it's 9 pieces less than the Thor one. But having said that, the mech itself, I actually really like. Whilst I'm not overly struck on the figure, and I prefer the other Iron Man figure, I actually prefer this mech design more so than the older one. And I think it's because it's got that kind of, that shield piece here, which can fold up or it can fold down. You can use that as like an arc barrier sort of thing. You can do it like that. You can pose it. You can use it as like a melee shield. You can use it to deflect studs or gunshots or anything like that, and direct blows from, your Thanos mech or anything large enough to contend with Captain America. And you also get like a hand-mounted stud shooter here. There's no thumb, because I guess really the shooter here kind of works as the thumb. So with that, you just push this down and it shoots across. And I'll just show you from this angle. So that's what the shooter looks like. Again, it's a really interesting design, and I like the build technique for it. It's different, it's quirky, the colour scheme is really nice, and it's a simple build. You can take it with you, you can build it on the go. It's something to occupy a child's time for a journey. If you're starting off a small collection and you really like Marvel, this is one way to go. I like it, it's different. But having said that, I think it's another Iron Man mech. Whilst you could argue Iron Man is a popular character, we've had a version of Iron Man since, which was the early one in 2020. Yes, the mech is superior, but we could have had, for example, another character. We could have had Hawkeye as a mech, even though I don't think the character would suit mech. You could have had Scarlet Witch as a mech. You could have had Loki, which would have been a really cool, interesting mech design. You could have gone for maybe, I don't know, one of the Guardians of the Galaxy. There's options there. You could have picked maybe Red Skull as the bad guy, just because with this, they're very top heavy in good characters as opposed to bad characters. You get Thanos as one of the main ones in the early version, and you get a version with the Green Goblin and Spider-Man, but you don't get many bad guys. And I think Thor, Red Skull, Loki, and maybe another bad guy from another movie would work very well to complement this. And again, the design of this is really nice, and I like the colour scheme of this. I just preferred the figure from the previous mech to this one, but it's still very nice. So, here are the two mechs side by side. I will hold them up now. As you can see, two very contrasting colours. This one and this one. This is the newer one. You can get this in Smith's, you can get this on The Entertainer, you can get this in Amazon, Lego Store, etc. This is still in circulation. This has been retired, but you can pick it up on the secondary market, Amazon, eBay. You may pay more than £9 for it, but you can at least get it for your collection. And I myself personally, I'm glad that I picked these up just because they're padding out my Marvel collection. So for my final thoughts, definitely worth picking up the mechs if you like Marvel. Definitely worth picking the mechs up if you want to have something different in your collection. Are there better Marvel mechs out there? Absolutely. Are there better characters out there that you can collect? Absolutely. Is it a bad purchase? No. If you are massive fans of the Avengers, if you're massive fans of Iron Man or Thor, pick both of these up. They're worth picking up for that reason alone. Iron Man, Thor, they're iconic characters. They will sell. People will always buy them. Do I wish we had more variation in the mechs for bad guys and good guys? Yes. I think it's a niche market. I get it. But I still think there's options there for other characters and other members of the Avengers and their counterparts and adversaries to work very well. I picked both of these up in the same purchase haul, so I got these one off Amazon, the Thor off Amazon, and the the Iron Man off my local Entertainer on the same day. And I still prefer this version of the Iron Man over the Thor, just because I think the design is better. It stands and poses so much better. But I still think that this version of Iron Man isn't superior to the earlier versions that we've gotten. So we are coming towards the end of the video, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you guys have these mechs in your collection? Do you guys have a preference to either of these, or do you have other mechs that you prefer? Let me know in the comment section below, because I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say. I will post some images of this on my Instagram, some images of this on my TikTok. If you don't already follow me on Instagram or TikTok, you can follow me at the Galaxy of Bricks. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything that I post on this channel. And get in touch with me if you have any comments, questions or queries. I have been the Galaxy of Bricks. This has been my LEGO review, and I shall see you all very soon. Take care, everyone. Bye now.